I see a clan sitting here. Let me introduce them. My family, my daughter Sean, daughter-in-law over here, and with her former, no, she's still your brother. Yeah, not brother, no, I thought, but that's not, well, I guess that would still be true. That's the wife of the son I lost, and so I don't know how to just entertain her and such, but introduce her and such, but I know the family. I know who it is. Yes. I'm just trying to figure out, do I introduce as my former daughter-in-law, or do I? Yeah, that's Jessie. Next to her is Gary, my daughter Mary, who's a blubberpuss. Wife Kathy, her current boyfriend, Bruce. Hey, listen, place to live is in Clarkston. There's a whole lot of that going on. My son Dane, and my daughter-in-law Heather, and I don't know if any of the kids are here, but okay. Obviously, I wanted my family to be here for this once-in-a-lifetime announcement. We got the release, so it's nothing to do with well, it does have something to do with my health. But I've been, I planned on starting this with saying, Alex Trebek has nothing on me. He was diagnosed on the 13th. I was diagnosed on the 15th of March with pancreatic cancer, stage 4. So to the extent that that release said I was going to make Albert Patterson to make an announcement about his career, it is really a career-ending kind of a decision. And after my accident, I thought, hell, I had a free run to 90 at least. That was very debilitating. I lost Bill's father, Jim Graham, about a week ago. We lost him a couple weeks ago. He was buried last week. And his son's on my staff. He's here right now when I walk down. And I have a lot of thoughts here. I want to try to get through them all before I take questions. As a guy who was given a beaucoup number of eulogies are the toughest. And I learned, self-taught, you never want to look family members or close personal friends in the eye, because that's when it starts to kick in. Normally I train. I try to help young guys who are given their first one look at an empty chair, look at a picture on the wall, just don't catch their eye. Here I'm going from eyeball to eyeball. Sorry. Anyway, this is a tough one. I'm in treatment now. I will continue in treatment until my oncologist says I'm free to go. Down at Carmanis, as some of you know. My staff didn't want me to get into this. I won't get too deep in the weeds, but I will say that my doctor's name is Philip. His parents were real creative. And I got him on a referral from my treating physician. And then I come to find out he was a treating physician for the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, for a number of years, actually. So it brings you up to speed with who I'm with. I'm over at Carmanis. I tend to regain my energy. I lost some right now in the early phases, no question about it. Everybody keeps saying, do this, speak. I'm trying to get it up there. And then I go on with my job as county exec, and supported by, I think, the best team in the whole country when it comes to being a support staff for an executive branch of government. If this is one time when you can really beat it, there's 11% chance that we who have it walk away. And I intend to be part of that 11%. Hopefully that's my reputation. I'm strong enough and committed enough to go into the fight and want to finish it. I see my guys when I came in, my I first started out as an assistant prosecutor. These guys were all sitting around drinking coffee, eating donuts, and didn't have a stripe among them. And now they're wearing heavy stripes. Oh my God. The cat I see this way, 100 sheriff. And the other guys don't have them. They've gone through the same 40-some years that I have, all with a better result. Good for you. Really not much more I can say. My family, obviously, is standing by me big time. And I'm going to get out of town. Smartest thing for me to do on the 6th of April. I'm not even going to tell you where I'm going so you won't bug me. It's a 2-week planned vacation. It's planned before the diagnosis of the cancer. So this is not just a cheap hideaway, but it is a chance I was going to take to relax with all my kids. These are only some of my kids. I got 11 grandkids. So we're going to grab them, get out of Dodge, and that starts Friday. Is it this Friday? Week Friday. I thought, okay. Friday a week. And so obviously Jerry, who's been anybody's first choice for right-hand man, will step in and take over. He'll have my number, of course. Please don't call it. And I knew him when he was in the prosecutor, my chief assistant. And he's my chief assistant now. A better, smarter, more ethical guy you couldn't have in politics. This is the kind of politician I hope we're breeding here in this county, in the political field as general. He's guys who know him in this room. I'm looking at my cave and some guys that know of what I speak. He's just, I don't want to catch eyes. He's really a great guy, personal friend. And yeah, when I first met him, he said somebody naming his daughter Brooke. I thought, besides being a brown nose, I was really, I was sort of pleased with that until I find out that was his daughter's maiden name, Brooke. Took away some of the excitement. That's a true story, isn't it?
Yeah.
But thank her every night you got a job. Oh, man, so many people I can tell stories about here. This is not a goodbye. This is just an announcement of a shitty deck of hands card that dealt me, which I intend to, play out. And I'll be back with my old bad stories, the ones that make Jerry wince. And hopefully within the next, I've got a 6-week plan. I mean, I'll still be working on it 6 weeks. Don't worry about that. But I have every intention of coming back to finish out the term. On that regard, I saw Mr. Woodward, I'm not going to run again, Dave, so if you want to go to the printing press right now, I'll understand. It'd be silly to speak for another 4 years given what I'm going through. So this is a by announcement. I'll be out of here 4 years, God willing, the creek don't rise. I save all these sayings. I really do. I find them fascinating. Like, let me think of them. Oh boy, here we go. Well, some of them, often wonder about God willing and the creek don't rise. I thought, well, that's pretty obvious. I'll beat this. It'll happen if these two events don't occur. That's not what that was from. In the olden days, the guy would say, come on over. I said, well, God willing, if the Crete nation don't rise, which was the Indians, and they shoot sharp arrows. What's my favorite one? You know where
I don't know your favorite one.
You know where the word shit comes from? Out of 100, it had to be that one. Well, this is all true fact. I'm not making this stuff up. When they came over in wooden boats way back 1700s, 1800s, they boats, boom, boom, they blew up all over the Pacific. and the Atlantic, but Pacific where the problem was. And so they got their heads together and said, this can't be right. We can't have this many explosions. It's not, it's not the rebels or the loyals. We were the rebels. It's not, it's not the opposition in the war. It's something else. Well, come to find out, they were loading their livestock on the boat because they had to have livestock when they got here. And, of course, the livestock would do whatever it had to do on the boat. And so they come to find out they put that stuff in manure down furthest they could in the deck to get it away from passengers and the odor and all the other thoughts that go along with that. And finally, that's what was identified as the explosive. It was the gas that would be given off, and it became, what kind of gas was that? Methane gas. It was blown off, and so they said, we got to change this. Instead of putting it on the bottom, store high in transit. Store high in transit. I assume that's now your favorite expression. If the creek don't rise. Okay, I'll flip it open to a few questions. I don't want to dive too deep. I'll do my best to answer, be responsive. Anybody wants to be the first to? No. Good. My staff was worried how I was going to answer. I don't have to answer that. All right, guys, I know some questions. I'll hang around for 2 minutes.
Jim Kirchner's got a question.
Jim?
Brooks, right here, right
Okay, see you,
down
buddy.
the aisle. What are your personal thoughts moving forward? You kind of touched on them a little bit.
I've had a great career here. I've had 45 at one end already. No, 30. Oh, let's see, 38 at this end and 18 at the other. So total, I got about 45 years in. I've loved both jobs, both prosecutor and county exec. I love them both. They're both great jobs. Anybody, I would die for. No, I shouldn't have said that. And but they've been great career opportunities. I work with the best people. I'm looking out at some of my clerks and Joanne, working around the room here. And then, of course, the law enforcement guys that I've come to know and love over the years. We had a great relationship back in those days. So I met some great people. We did some good things. I think when I was prosecutor, we led a petition drive to take out, we eliminated the parole reform, which was then and still is a blight on the system. In county exec, I heard they put together a list of accomplishments. You're going to get that on the way out? You already got it? And then there we list some of the things that we've done that we feel particularly proud of. The improvements we made. We're the only county in America that's paid off its health care costs. It's dragging Detroit schools down, dragging the city of Los Angeles down. It's dragging every municipality. They're still being in the god-awful DV plan. They're being pulled down. And because of the leadership of Bob, and I saw Bob Dad, I saw him on the way in the back, always in the back. I saw Bob and the people he had around with him, Lori, who's out of town now, I think.
No, I'm right there.
Oh, she? Okay, I'm sorry, Lori. Stand up, Lori. No, you've heard that joke. I am standing, okay. Bob and Lori and the team we had in place, and they found a way, with input from number one, to get it done. And we got it done now. We have some bragging rights around the country. And we go get our get our bond restored every year now for 17, 18 years at AAA. And the first question out of their mouth is, how could you do this? I said, well, what do you mean? He said, you know what that county has done? None in America. And I said, well, I don't work for them, but I do know how we did it. And we put together a proposal. And it was the first time we ran home, vetoed it. So we went back with an irrefutable change in the law. And she had nothing to say then, so we got it done, and still are the only county that has gotten rid of god-awful, taxes on the system we've led at different healthcare costs. I'm very proud of that. Yes, Jim, there's a whole sheet load there.
Yep.
Yeah, things that the thing I don't get any credit for, but I should. I pulled into the drive every morning, and I'd follow behind a honey dipper. You know, the trucks that would, and they'd go out around the whole county and pick up their load. They come in, they dump it right here in the county. I went to Dave Ross, and I said, Dave, these big old smelly trucks are dumping their load right here, yeah, right almost where the new animal control shelter sits. It's right in that vicinity. And so he explained to me, well, it has to be on an interceptor, and there's one, happened to me, fortunately, on our property, even though the people who dumped the load paid us a fee. It's just, I don't think it looked good to pull into the county. You're sitting behind a truck and it says number 1 and the number 2 business. Just not the image I was trying to paint for Oakland County. So I found another site that we owned. It was the old Al Dietrich dealership that we bought from Al Norton. The county bought from Al Dietrich. And they didn't know what to do with it. And then when I find out they had a dog, but a manure dumping permit, this is perfect. It's on our grounds. We don't have to go try to get permits from some city. We've been doing it, no complaints. So I made the announcement we were going to move. Pontiac said, well, that's on our site. So is this one. It's a no-brainer. Oh, no, you're going to have to go through the permitting process. $1 million later, we got the permit we needed. We changed location, built this gorgeous facility with traps, fumes. And then one day I'm driving by and I see John McCullough, who's the drain commissioner. John McCullough gets this Environmental Protection Award. No, it was Patterson, wasn't John McCullough. So those little things like that, those little rewards, Bruce. Yeah.
If you had the chance to turn the clock back, would you change anything, do anything different?
Boy. Well, that's my ex-wife. It probably, might want to talk about that. I swear to God, it was Forest Millsville coming out of that motel. Forest. So, in a career sense, I'll get around here. In a career, I got you. In a career sense, probably not. I'm lucky enough to have 2 beautiful jobs. Either one of which would have been a career, but I wasn't able to mesh 2 together. And worked for a county like Oakland. Everybody in this room's heard me brag about Oakland, but I mean everything I say. It's a beautiful county. The citizens, we have this special relationship. They know who I am, I know who they are. I think I've tried to give them exactly what they want. And I think it shows in the election returns. So great county, and no, I working for the right county on the right causes, trying to develop some of the firsts we have. I've been blessed, really have. Yeah, I'm going to have my career nipped a little bit, maybe. And you might feel that's a bad deal to hand. When I survived that car accident, and I lost Jimmy, my driver, just a couple weeks ago, that should have been the end of the career. But I got back in my feet for a while and then into a chair. And that well should have been, the ending. For this to come out of nowhere, I shouldn't say out of nowhere. My twin brother died of cancer. My sister died of cancer. And so when it was too late for me to be tested, the doctor said, now, you've got to have your daughters and their kids tested. So if it's there, we can work now and get rid of it at the chance when we can be effective. So that's your kids, Mary, and Steve's kids. So I lost Steve, I lost my nephew, Timmy, he's only in his 40s. So we've had a streak of cancer in our family. It didn't really dawn on me how rife it was until, boom. Well, and then you start counting them up. So I think Yeah, I do that differently. Definitely get tested.
Brooks,
Yeah.
Charlie Langton has.
Yeah, Charlie?
What's changed in 40-plus years of politics, and/or what advice would you give these newer politicians, perhaps for your job?
Oh, you know what's changed. I don't think it's changed between us or us and us, but the change between the media and basically the politicians. That's more so in D.C., less so in Lansing, and I don't feel any anti-vibes here, but that's really a different. You watch the night news, and I do. Used to watch them, a lot more, but it's really depressing. I took a couple journalism courses. I had 6 serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names were what, when, and why? No, their names were what, when, where, why, how, and who. Huh? Good? I get a job? And that's 8. Well, what the hell? So I went to the basics, and you're supposed to top the paragraph, then you whittle it down to a lot of stuff that belongs at the bottom. They're running at the top. Yeah, it's not as professional as it once was. Where are you, Charlie? Oh, okay. And it's not as tall as it once was. So, there's some changes, but here at the local level, no, I try to treat you guys right, and by right I mean I'm always accessible. And in return, I just hope for the same level of respect that I've gotten. Thanks, Joe. Somebody escort that son of a bitch out of here.
A follow-up.
Yeah, Tim.
A follow-up again.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
regret not running for governor years back? Didn't you have your toe in the water?
Oh, I tried once. You remember that? I'll tell you one story, then we'll call it a day. Forrest, I'll be up to see you in about an hour. I ran for governor in '82, same time Headley ran as a Republican. And Headley had a head start. I mean, he'd been president of the JCs. He'd been president of, pardon me? Okay, he's president of the JCs. He was head of the Chamber of Commerce. He was a Mormon, which meant he had mosques in every community. I'm just small thing. Huh?
Temples.
Yeah, Dimples. Oh, Dimples. I forgot about that. I thought you said Dimples. I thought he's sitting on me after all these years. Anyway, well, he didn't have too many. He had a couple. But those were the places where he had a head start. He knew everybody. Everybody knew Dick Headley, was president and chairman and so forth. And so I called, somebody did, this Rotary, I think it was up in Traverse City area. This Rotary is notorious. It actually hit oil. It dug for oil. It hit oil and moved from the normal charge to one of philanthropy. We owe it, if we mean what's in our code, we intend to give it back. So they drill wells and they've hit, I don't know how much, but it's in them. That's the big numbers, okay, a lot of zeros. And so I called up and I said, gee, I'd like to come up here and get known. They said, yeah, Mr. Patterson, we're delighted to welcome you up here. We want to be fair and make sure we give all of our candidates a chance at recognition and speaking in front of our Rotary. Great. So we set the date. I think Forrest, you were with me. A couple of guys. We jump in a motorhome. We drive up north. And in those days, that was like '82. The only hotel or motel in town was the Holiday Inn. That old one when you rode into town, and it's just right there. You couldn't miss it. It had the big old marquee out front. And it says, "Welcome, L. Brick Peterson." I told my staff, I think we got a lot of work to do up here. Needless to say, I didn't carry Traverse County. Guys, gals, thank you so much for coming out. I don't mean to get weepy. I was going back and look at the eyes, and it brings back a lot of memories. I gotta stop doing that. I probably won't do any more of these news conferences. I'll answer some questions after here. And as I say, I'm going to disappear down into the warm climate for a while, and then I'll be back to work. And we'll resume a normal life back then. Thank you all so much.